Good evening and welcome to Sports Overtime. We're here in our digital studio where we have our show Southeast Sports Plus every Monday to Friday, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. This week we got a chance to catch up with a lot of our friends at the Nexstar Nation as we preview a big week in college football. Here's the best of. As you take a look at what LSU is going into this football game, let's rewind for just a half second about where they are offensively. They got the win. They're still a top 10 team. On paper, if you just look at LSU's resume, it looks like, okay, well, this team looks good, looks like firmly seated in the playoffs. If there are growing concerns about this squad as they head into another pivotal matchup?
Well, you start doing the math, and how many wins do you need to get into the college football playoff? Mm-hmm. I would think, and I said this, I think on your show to start the season, I think there's going to be a couple 9-3 teams because we've talked about the parity this week, and
right.
Brian Kelly said, they did like a study of, what it was like, 5 to 10 years ago in the SEC. Mm-hmm. The average margin of victory, I can't believe he said this, but I guess I can't believe the number, was 17 points, okay?
Wow.
It is now the last season and a half, I should say, it's 10 points. So there's a lot more parity. Yeah. That's why I think there's going to be some 9-3 teams that get in. But you already have a loss as LSU.
Yeah.
So if you count up, hey, you're going to T-Town here in a few weeks, so probably a loss.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, guess what? That means you probably have to win at least one of these two on the road at Vandy and then coming home for a primetime game against Texas A&M. They didn't handle Texas A&M very well, and we think Texas A&M is possibly a top 5 team. They are right now.
Yeah.
What will they be after they go through October? Those have been two different stories for Texas A&M historically as well, and getting into November without some losses. So what does LSU look like? Well, these 2 weeks are really, really pivotal, and like we've been going over, like you would have never said this about Vanderbilt. Yeah, there it is. You got the bye week right before Bama. Mm-hmm. But we would have never said, hey, Vanderbilt is a threat. But in this day and time in college football, if you have a dual threat quarterback who is worth his salt, it is just a completely different looking football game in 2025 than it looked like, probably 15 years ago.
Right. Speaking of quarterbacks, you mentioned there Diego Pavia had got a big win last week over Lenora Sellers. Let's talk about the LSU quarterback and Garrett Nussmeier. Coming into the season, obviously high expectations. Threw for 4,000 yards last year. Obviously not on pace to do that same thing this year. But they are getting wins, however, probably squeaking by. It scored 20 points last week. Where is Garrett Nussmeier as far as where you think he is physically, being able to lead this team, and the projections moving forward?
It's been really interesting because they basically tried to hide an injury from us.
Yeah.
And I think there were some questions coming up. And then, Brian Kelly, as we've talked about before on this show, your co-host doesn't exactly like this, but he seems to be honest or have these honest moments all of a sudden with the media that says, oh, well, it's been a core injury. It's been going on for a few weeks. You go back and look at the tape and you just go like, this is not the same Nussmeier. Like this is correct.
Yep.
And Nussmeier didn't really want to talk about it. Led to some uncomfortable moments, and especially out on the field, you just go, man, this doesn't look like the Nuss that we've seen for years now. Mm-hmm. So, it's been interesting. You look at the South Carolina game, and I was on the sidelines, and the zip was back on the ball, boys.
Yeah.
Like it looked nice.
Yeah.
And so you wonder, obviously that bye week helped, but now I think they're going to obviously bring him back as they can. So it's been two different mindsets for Nuss. It's been protect the football and don't try to zip it in there because I don't have it right now. To now he feels like he has it. You saw one of those interceptions on the goal line. Mm-hmm. He goes, I don't even need to read this safety. I can zip it in.
Yeah.
And we always talk about defensive backs. Hey, that's why they don't play wide receiver, because they drop those passes. This was an amazing catch, so give him credit. I don't expect to see Nussmeier. Now he has to marry the two, right? Protecting the football, making good decisions. He didn't like the gunslinger, moniker early in his career here at LSU. He thought maybe he had given up some of those bad mental decisions, right. But now he's got the arm back, and he feels like, nah, let me do it. So it's going to be interesting to see him these next 2 weeks as well. But I can tell you right now, he looks healthy.
going on the road to Vanderbilt, and it always seems interesting to me when you go. Everybody talks about going down there, going down to Death Valley, and just how much they have to change their mindset, their mentality. They change their practices during the week. Going to Vanderbilt under the current circumstances, usually it's like, hey, Nick Saban used to say that's the easiest place to win. And now it seems like you're going to a place that really has hope. What do you feel like this team will take with them mentally as they go to a place that is traditionally easy to win, but in 2024 and 2025 is not?
And it's so wild, too, by the way, to see, not in Nashville, I should say, every time I've been to Nashville in the last 15 years, there's cranes everywhere. Like 50, 60 crane. Like, it is a city that's been building up. Well, Vanderbilt, the last few seasons, they've been literally building up that stadium as well. So you just kind of feel that momentum even before Pavia was Pavia. Clark Lee is an excellent head coach, and he knows how to hire, and he's got great recruiting department there with Barton Simmons. So, then they get the right quarterback there, and, sky is the limit. But, I was there in 2019, and there were more LSU fans in the stadium than Vanderbilt fans. And so I don't expect that to completely be the case this time around. I think that'll be interesting to watch as well. But I can tell you that in 2019, they had to get another beer truck to the stadium because LSU fans had drank that side of the stadium out of the 3 major beers.
And without further ado, we welcome former Alabama running back Damian Harris on the program. First off, Damian, thanks more for your time, but also, too, before we dive deep into this Alabama-Tennessee rivalry game, let's talk about your time there in Tuscaloosa. You're from Kentucky, but you had a chance to play your college ball in T-Town. What do you remember of those days there in Alabama?
You know what I remember first and foremost? Ramajamas, where the the pepper portal is gonna be. And I think about all the great times I had there. I think about all the fans that I saw there. I thought about how packed it was on game days because it's right underneath the stadium. You go get some good breakfast. You maybe have a drink or two, or maybe 10 or 12. I don't know. It depends on how you like to do your game. But I think of Ramajamas, and now I look at what Dr. Pepper is doing with the Pepper Portal, giving out some free complimentary, maybe I'll use the word complimentary. Complimentary sounds better from a business standpoint. Complimentary Dr. Peppers, and encourage the fans to come out, pour out their passion, be face-to-face with Cool Beans, a place in Knoxville where Tennessee fans will be. And it'll just be 2 fan bases pouring out their passion, cheering on their teams, repping their colors, be some former players there. I mean, that's what college football is about.
Absolutely.
That's what this rivalry is about. It's about the games being played. It's about the athletes. It's about the coaches. It's about the fans. When you talk about rivalries, it's about games that mean so much to the communities, to families. I'm sure there's some families that'll be, whether it is at Ramajamas, whether it's at Cool Beans, to where half the side is Tuscaloosa, Alabama fans, the other half is Knoxville fans, Tennessee fans, But Dr. Pepper does such a great job of bringing everybody together in a way that is encouraging, it's positive, it's in a way that where you can just be there for your own team and just show off your support. So it's a really awesome thing what Dr. Pepper is doing. And Ramajamas, again, when I think of Tuscaloosa, that's all I think about. Damian, outside of winning football games.
Yeah, of course. Damian, when you think about this rivalry and going back to your playing days, what stands out to you the most?
A speech that Nick Saban gave us one time. And this was, I'm sure he gave it every year, but this was probably my first time hearing it. He said, when you leave here, people are going to ask you 3 things. Did you get your degree? How many national championships did you win? How many times did you beat Tennessee? How many cigars did you, when you played at Neyland Stadium, did you have the Tennessee fans out by the second quarter or the third quarter? Or was it the first quarter? I mean, that is what this rivalry is about. That's what this game means. It's so important just because, like what I said earlier, this game means so much to our fans, to our boosters, the people that help make this NIL collective so big and support our respective programs. That's what games like these mean. So every time we get to the 3rd Saturday in October, listen, X's and O's kind of go out the window. Obviously, when you go in and you play the game, they matter because you have to play a disciplined style of football. But X's and O's aside, you got to do whatever. And I'm talking whatever it takes to the universe University of Tennessee, because that is one of the biggest things you will be asked. How many times did you beat those guys?
For sure. This is a really interesting matchup this year with two new quarterbacks in this football game, with Ty Simpson playing just absolutely out of his mind here over the last few weeks. Joey Aguilar also playing really well as well. How do you see this version, the 2025 version of the third Saturday of October?
Well, I see this, believe it or not, as a defensive matchup, because when you look at both of these offenses, like you said, Ty Simpson has been lights out. He's almost been robotic with how successful he's been on the football field, using his arm and using his legs. You look at Jan Miller, you look at Ryan Williams, the possibility of having him show up and be an alpha. Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton. Then you turn to the Tennessee side. You see Joey Aguilar, which he looked like he could have been on his way to a Heisman against Georgia in that game, if I'm not mistaken. He had a lights out performance.
Right.
And so when I talk about all of these offensive things, all of the weaponry, all of the good coaching from DeBoer to Heupel on the other side of it, what's this game going to come down to? Which defense can go out and get stops?
Stay with us here on Sports Overtime. And remember, you can watch our show, Southeast Sports Plus, from 2 to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. You can find us on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV device. And welcome to Southeast Sports Plus here. A really special treat here. We have 4 people in studio. Gerhard Mathingani, Patrick Walsh, and a pair of Toodles that are in house here. Shadrick Tootle Sr. and the man of the hour, Shadarius Tootle. So pleased to have you on here, Shadarius. And I know your hoodie gives it away a little bit with the Auburn Tigers. But you're obviously making the rounds today. A lot of talk about your future in college football. Let's talk about the big news here today.
Today I'll be flipping back to Auburn University.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know what? There's only a few people in the house, but I'll give you time here. Let's just talk big picture, Shadarius. What led to this decision and being able to go back to Auburn and play for Coach Hugh Freeze?
What led up to this decision, even after I flipped to Georgia, Coach Durkin and Coach Freeze, they never gave up on me. They always contact me and my family throughout anything. They still got me up to come to games, and me and my family just loved Auburn.
Yeah.
And passing up the opportunity to play with my brother was one of them.
For those of us that are not in the recruiting world from the inside looking out, we always see it and we always hear about it. But for you personally, how has this journey been? What has it been like for you, knowing that you get a lot of calls, a lot of interest in, even when you decommitted from Auburn to go to Georgia, you still had so many people interested?
It's just a blessing just to see me getting recruited for my abilities to play football, and how the schools build a relationship with me and my family, just one and none, just amazing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll continue with you here in a second, but first let's go to Mr. Shadrick Tootle. Let's just talk big picture. You have known your son obviously since day one, literally from day one.
Yes.
You known his talents, you known his skills, you know what makes him tick. How happy are you today for his decision and what he's been able to do?
Oh, man, one of the happiest days of my life, and I done had a lot of them with my 3 boys and my wife. The journey has been wonderful. We always knew with all 3 of our boys, the time we put in, the work, and what's more important, the love.
Yeah.
So like people want to try to make stuff. You show the love, the kids gonna show you that back in everything they do. They don't want to. They're not worried about pleasing other people. They're worried about not letting their parents down because of the love and sacrifice and dedication we show them. So, the journey has been sweet. Auburn was the first school he ever visited. And learning from mentors growing up. Right. I was always told, show kids their future. If you show a kid Chuck E. Cheese, they're going to want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. So, we went to Atlanta Braves for vacation one weekend and watched some games. On the way back, we stopped at Auburn, pulled up, asked some kids, can we get a tour? They called somebody from the bookstore. So I think he was like 6 at the time, and we've been going to Auburn ever since. Yeah. So full circle, man. We're excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is not just one piece of good news. It's 2 pieces of good news because there's 2 Tootle brothers that will be in Auburn. First, from a brother perspective, having your brother Shadrick there with you. You obviously played together in high school at Cottage Hill, and now you'll be rejoining one another at Auburn. How special is that?
It's very special. Just knowing I got my brother who always had my back. This is going to be there and play football with me. just amazing.
And as we talked earlier before we hopped on, that was one of the main calling points for the Auburn Tigers to push them over the top of everybody else. How important was being able to have a family member there with you there in Auburn?
It's very important. Me and my brother played football, played sports since we were little. And getting to play at a big-time school with my brother just amazing for me and my family.
Yeah, from a position standpoint, what have they told you? What have they told him about where they see you as a fit and where they see him as a fit in Auburn's defense?
In Auburn defense, they see me as a Mike linebacker, true Mike linebacker. And then they see my brother as a strong safety.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We talked family earlier and just how important it is. You're a senior, and now you get junior, and you get Shadarius. How big was this being able to package this thing as a family and have everybody under one roof, so to speak?
It was huge, man. I know me and my wife, we shedded big tears last night. Because Shadrick, in his own right, is an excellent football player. He actually had calls from Mississippi State, Baylor, just got a big offer from La Tech, who's #1 in the Sun Belt currently. He just went on a visit to Hampton. So we was kind of going through that process with both, not wondering, okay, like, it's a possibility that one kid to be on this side of the globe,
right,
one kid to be on this side.
Right.
And when the opportunity came, when Auburn started talking to Shadrick, we knew it was a possibility, but when it happened, it was just one of those things, man, you pray for, and because you want your family together.
Absolutely.
So it's just one of those things where you pray for, and when you ask God for something, I tell people, man, I asked God for all boys, and after I had 2, I wanted a girl, and God said, nope, we gonna give you another boy. So seriously, it's something me and my wife prayed for, keep the family together, and similar and close proximity range, and it just, God said, okay, you asked for it. He made it happen. We're excited, man. And I've been crying all morning just the thought of being 2.5 hours away from our sons both playing at the highest level of collegiate football that is SEC.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked about just the possibility of them being on opposite sides of the country.
Yes.
For you, you've been riding shotgun both figuratively and literally when it comes to all these recruiting trips and visits and whatnot.
Yes.
Tell us about that from a father's perspective, because obviously he's hearing it from a football perspective, but you're actually, you're literally on the pavement, hitting the interstates, hitting the airports and everything else.
It's been wonderful, man. The good thing about it is we experienced it with Shadrick in terms of playing Nike basketball, AAU, his travels with basketball, the schools he went to for camps, etc. And then his freshman year, it just went to a whole nother level.
Right.
We got experience from dealing with it from Shadrick, but just meeting the coaches, the relationships, the fan bases. I mean, every school you go to is top of the level. So from a parent standpoint, it was just always about the people, the environments, that sort of thing where your kid might be. And like all our kids, he's been making the decisions from day one. Matter of fact, Coach Cristobal called us last week, and I'm excited because they've been recruiting him, they've been offering him. They was trying to make a heavy push.
Right.
And it's just like, he's been like, whatever they say, we just been supporting them. But the trips have been amazing. I don't think they'll be stopping no time soon because Shamar, he's a sophomore.
That's right.
We were supposed to go see Bill O'Brien at Boston College, I think week 2 when he got the invite. And it's just so much to juggle. But the one good thing we know, Shadrick Jr., Shadarius Tootle, they'll be playing together at the same school. Now we got to worry about getting Shamar somewhere close. Wherever he go, we're going to support him. But the decision's solely to him.
Stay with us here on Sports Overtime. And remember, you can watch our show, Southeast Sports Plus, from 2 to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. You can find us on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV device.
We're going to welcome in our guy, Noah Gross, who has respectfully declined wanting to talk about the Big Ten, but that's how we're going to start things off. So Maryland has lost the last 2 games, and they will go play a team in UCLA who is on a 2-game winning streak. Right now, our guy Noah Gross in his face. Noah Gross, for those new to the program, is a Maryland alum. And he's proud of it.
High quality institution right there.
Listen, a very, very high quality with the Terps. And before we really get into the horns and everything going on, they're in Austin. Noah, what is the state of the state on the Maryland Terrapins?
Yeah, I see your guys' internet's working. You got the whole schedule laid out there. A lot of red, a lot of L's on that schedule as of late. Just furious. I mean, the state of the state is it's a disaster. They should shut down that program instead of shutting down the government. Okay, I'm tired of having to watch Maryland football right now.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Sports Overtime. Remember, you can watch our show, Southeast Sports Plus, every Monday through Friday, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the free WKRG Plus app. You can also catch us on your Fire TV, Roku, or Apple TV device. Good night.